I always felt like one is a sense of pride for the fans that are paying. Two is a sense of, making sure that I stay sharp. I'm not going to lose it. And three, I want our rhythm as a team to always...
When you talk about what's really tearing basketball apart in the 2020s, nothing even comes close to load management. The concept of sitting out games while being perfectly healthy has become the league's most controversial issue, an epidemic that's turning fans against the modern NBA. What once started as a smart recovery strategy for occasional use has now morphed into a convenient excuse to skip games, and people are running out of patience. Under Adam Silver's leadership, this problem has quietly grown from a minor concern into the league's biggest nightmare. One that's eroding competitiveness, viewership, and the very trust that fans used to have in the sport. What makes it even more absurd is how much easier players have it today. They've got access to everything: private jets, personal chefs, recovery specialists, cutting-edge technology, and world-class training facilities. By comparison, the legends of the 70s, 80s, and even early 2000s lived much tougher lifestyles. Those guys didn't have hyperbaric chambers or customized sleep regimens. They had grit, pride, and an old-school mentality. Yet despite having far fewer resources, they played more games, logged more minutes, and still gave fans everything they had night after night. So it's fair for fans to ask, what happened to the pride, the grind, and the fire that used to define greatness in the NBA? Back in the 90s, teams had maybe one trainer and a strength coach. Players practiced hard, played through pain, and embraced back-to-backs without complaint. Now, organizations have entire performance departments full of data analysts, recovery experts, and biomechanics specialists. And yet, injuries and missed games are at an all-time high. Something in this new system just doesn't add up. The craziest part? For a growing generation of younger fans who started watching in the 2020s, load management feels completely normal. They see it as just part of the game, like it's always been this way. But for those who remember how basketball used to be, when stars actually played every night and effort meant everything, it's a painful reminder of how far the league has drifted from its roots.
There to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me, and I want to shut him.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell.
But let me say this loud and clear: it shouldn't be accepted. It should be rejected completely. Every player, coach, and fan who truly loves the game should be demanding a return to real basketball. The game was never built on comfort, convenience, or calculated rest. It was built on competition, pride, and the will to show up no matter what. If you want proof of how ridiculous load management has become, just look at the legends who came before. Those guys didn't need scheduled rest days to stay motivated. They played through exhaustion, through injuries, and through eras that were far more physical. And somehow they didn't just survive, they thrived.
Hard. I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. I played injured, and I played with a lot of pride. So everything.
Look at the legends: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen. These guys weren't just stars, they were warriors. They played through pain, through exhaustion, through every obstacle that stood in their way, and they still showed up night after night. Sure, injuries happened, real ones, but no one sat out just because they were tired or managing their workload. Back then, the idea of skipping games on purpose was unthinkable. Between 1990 and 2000, 58 players played all 82 games in multiple seasons. That level of durability and commitment wasn't the exception, it was the standard. Fast forward to today, and that number is practically extinct. The modern era has more technology, more medical data, and more rest than ever before, yet somehow players are doing less. It's not evolution, it's regression.
Gov, when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to improve.
And when you look at the most consistent players, those who showed up year after year, they almost all come from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. That's not a coincidence. That's what real dedication looked like. When people say the stars from back in the day were built different, they're not exaggerating, they truly were. In those decades, there were 7 different seasons where over 50 players played in every single game. That's not just impressive, it's almost unimaginable by today's standards. Those players treated the game like a duty, a privilege, and a legacy to uphold. Now flip it for a second. Look at the modern era, the so-called age of player empowerment and advanced recovery science. When it comes to durability, it's one of the weakest periods in NBA history. Players sit out more, play fewer minutes, and rest more often than any generation before them. Somehow, the more we've learned about taking care of the body, the less often we actually see the body on the court.
Load management, like can you imagine somebody telling me, "We gonna rest you tonight"? What do you mean rest me? It's a game.
Or you coming into the season and going like this, I got 82 games, count on me missing 20.
No.
When you look at the fewest number of players to play every game in a single season, the title of weakest era goes straight to 2022. And right behind it, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Even the late 2010s followed the same disappointing pattern. That tells you everything you need to know. Load management didn't just quietly show up, it exploded in the 2020s after slowly creeping in during the mid to late 2010s. That if you want a perfect example of what true commitment looks like, just look at Michael Jordan. This man played all 82 games 9 times in his 15-year NBA career, including his final season when he was 40 years old. Think about that. At an age when most players today would already be retired, or at least resting for recovery, Jordan was still suiting up every single night. Out of 15 seasons, he played at least 78 games in 12 of them. The only exceptions? When he broke his foot early in the 1985-86 season, and when he was retired for most of 1994-95. That's it. No maintenance days, no scheduled rest, just an unshakable will to compete every time his name was on the roster. That's the difference between a player managing his load and a legend carrying it.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do.
That's what separates legends from everyone else. Michael Jordan didn't believe in taking nights off. He never load managed, never dodged the competition, and never cheated the fans who paid their hard-earned money to watch him play. To this day, he still doesn't understand why modern players think it's necessary, because to him, real greatness isn't about stats or highlight reels. It's about showing up every single game, no excuses. One of the biggest things missing from today's NBA superstars is respect. Respect for the fans and respect for the game itself. When a perfectly healthy player decides to sit out, it's not just a rest day. It's a slap in the face to every person who bought a ticket, traveled to the arena, and brought their kids hoping to see their favorite player in action. Fans save up, plan their nights, and tune in with excitement, only to be greeted with a last-minute out for rest update. It's disappointing, it's disrespectful, and it chips away at the bond that once made the NBA special. The unspoken promise that the league's best would always show up when the lights came on.
Hypothetically, you play 4 games. You can't ask fans to pay that money for a guy making $95 million won't play back.
That's not just disappointing, it's embarrassing for the sport itself. And here's the part that doesn't add up. If players in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s could suit up for every single game, with worse travel, tougher schedules, and far less medical support, then why can't today's players in this supposedly advanced era do the same? The answer is simple, but ugly. They've got it too easy. The comfort, the luxury, and the guaranteed money have softened the mentality. Just look at Ben Simmons, the perfect example of what's gone wrong with the modern mindset. The moment he secured his bag, he checked out completely. It was like, adios. I'm paid. I'm done. No hunger. No fire. No drive to compete. And while most players aren't as extreme, that same attitude quietly lingers across the league. Even if I play badly, or don't play at all, I'm still getting paid. That right there is the real disease infecting today's NBA. Entitlement over effort. Money over passion. Comfort over competition. When you talk about Michael Jordan, what made him special wasn't just his skills or his talent. It was his mindset. His fire, his respect for the game, and his appreciation for the fans made him unforgettable. That show up no matter what mentality was what truly set him apart. And remember, playing every single game in Jordan's era was way tougher than it is now. As a rookie, MJ didn't take shortcuts. He played all 82 games, averaging 38.3 minutes per night, ranking 4th in the entire league in playing time. In total minutes, he was only behind Buck Williams and Larry Bird. That's elite company. From day one, Jordan was an Iron Man, physically relentless and mentally unstoppable. And let's be real, players like that are becoming harder and harder to find.
He's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year. He was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. Like, and so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I got to be there.
I twist my ankle, and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. This is you need to. I said, no, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to.
Doing that back then, with grueling travel, limited recovery options, and none of today's first-class luxuries, was 10 times harder than anything players face today. And if you want the perfect snapshot of that old-school mentality, just rewind to the 1997 NBA Finals, Game 5. The series was tied 2-2, the pressure was suffocating, and Michael Jordan was battling flu-like symptoms with a 103 degrees fever. Most players today wouldn't have even suited up. But Jordan didn't just play, he dominated. He poured in 38 points, led the Chicago Bulls to a 90-88 win over the Utah Jazz, and even buried the clutch three-pointer with 25 seconds left on the clock. He could barely stand by the end of the game, leaning on Scottie Pippen as they walked off the court, but that image became immortal. That's the difference between legends and everyone else. Jordan didn't just show up. He took over even when his body was failing him. He proved what true greatness looks like: mental toughness, loyalty to the game, and an unshakable will to win. This is what real competitors, true ambassadors of basketball, look like. They don't rest when it's hard. They rise when it's hardest.
Really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. There's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 100.
And when it comes to the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jordan, that's easily Kobe Bryant. He came from the same ruthless mold. A mindset so fierce it literally cost him both a shot at becoming the NBA's all-time leading scorer and his career. In his 17th season, at just 34 years old, Kobe was still putting up numbers nearly identical to LeBron James, who was 28 and in his MVP prime that year. LeBron averaged 26.8 points, 8 rebounds, and 7.3 assists. Kobe? 27.3 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he actually played more games than LeBron. That's insane for someone that deep into his career, but that 2012 to 2013 Lakers season was chaos. Pau Gasol declined sharply, starting only 42 games. Steve Nash at 38 missed over 30. So Kobe did what real leaders do, he carried the team on his back. Over his final 7 games, he averaged 29 points, 8.5 assists, and 7 rebounds while logging a brutal 46 minutes a night, single-handedly dragging the Lakers into the playoffs. Then came April 12, 2013, the night everything changed. A torn Achilles tendon ended his season and in many ways defined the cost of his obsession. But even that couldn't stop him. He came back, twice, before finishing one final season out of nothing but sheer love and loyalty to the game. Kobe could have coasted. He could have chased records. But that was never the point. Just like Jordan, he cared more about giving everything to basketball: his body, his time, his soul. He cared about pushing his limits and making his team better, no matter the cost. That's what true greatness looks like. Not load management, not convenience, just raw passion, sacrifice, and the relentless will to compete.
The Magic Johnsons, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley's, we earned what we got. When the corporate America came to us, we had a game that could validate their admiration and
sponsorship and all that, yeah.
Now they get that before they play one game.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice to see if this kid's ever going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're paying the kid off of potential.
Yeah.
That he may be great.
You don't think that's good?
No, because I think it sets bad work ethic. When you get something so easily, you're not going to work as hard.
Let's pause right there, because when we talk about LeBron James, the so-called face of the NBA throughout the 2000s and beyond, there's a hard truth people don't like to admit. This man, with all his talent, power, and influence over the league, has played every single game in a season only once in his entire career. Once? For someone who's supposed to represent the standard of greatness, that's shocking. Now compare that to legends like Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Allen Iverson. Guys who went all out every single night, no matter how sore, tired, or overworked they were. Next to them, LeBron's approach to load management feels weak, plain and simple. And yeah, some people might say, it's only a game or two here, maybe a week off there. What's the big deal? But that is the big deal, especially when it comes from the top. When you're the face of the league, every move you make sets the tone for everyone else. If LeBron decides to rest while healthy, it sends a message across the NBA that skipping games is acceptable, that effort is optional. Then other players start thinking, if the best in the world can take a night off, why shouldn't I? That's how the mentality shifts. When LeBron load manages, it doesn't just affect his team, it ripples through every locker room in the league. If he had set the opposite example, showing up every night, fighting through the grind, the tone and culture of the modern NBA might look completely different. Because when Michael Jordan was the face of the league, players showed up. Competing wasn't optional, it was a matter of pride. That era was built on toughness, loyalty, and love for the game. But in LeBron's era, it's the opposite. Stars rest more, play less, and that relentless drive to compete has faded. That's exactly why the NBA brought Michael Jordan back into the spotlight, because they know his influence still runs deeper than LeBron's or even Adam Silver's. Jordan doesn't have to lecture anyone, just his presence shifts the mindset. When MJ says, "Play every game," it hits differently. It reminds everyone, especially the fans, what real greatness and dedication look like. So what do you think? Do you believe this era will calm down, or is this just the start of even more drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching and sticking with Ball Stories. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and if you're new here, subscribe for more wild basketball stories and behind-the-scenes moments. Catch you in the next one, and as always, stay sharp out